this is your first 30 days, your jumpstart plan for succeeding and getting set up as a new real estate agent. During your first year as a real estate agent, there is so much to learn, but I'm going to specifically look at your first month in real estate here because there are a lot of systems and things to get set up, and a lot of the things that you choose to do, who you choose to partner with, what you choose to learn during that 30 days is really going to lay your foundation. Those are important decisions. It's going to lay your foundation for success for the coming year or two or even beyond. So let's say you have just passed your test, you've officially become a real estate agent. The first thing to do would be to actually choose what real estate brokerage you want to be at, what brokerage you want to work for or hold your license with, however you want to say it. But choosing a brokerage, and you may want to interview 2 or 3 or even 4 different real estate brokerages because there's a lot of different options out there. Some are really small companies, some are massive national companies, and they all have their pros and cons. They're going to differ greatly when it comes to things like training and mentorship, but also the fees that they are going to charge you, whether that's monthly fees or fees coming out of your commission or even just the split or the cap. You want to get familiar with those terms because that's basically what the brokerage is taking from you as an agent when you sell a property. So the split is what split they have with you. So let's say you're on an 80-20. That means if you sell a home, you're getting 80% of that commission and the brokerage is getting 20%. Now, some real estate companies out there have a cap, which means that is the maximum amount that you'll pay that brokerage per year out of your commissions. So, there's no one right answer of what brokerage fits for everybody, but you want to interview multiple brokerages. Now, as a new agent especially, you want to make sure that the company that you choose has training options for new real estate agents and ideally has a mentor that they can match you up with. Being in real estate, it is really, really difficult for a lot of agents to succeed that first year. There's a high failure rate. And part of that, in my opinion, is because a lot of agents don't have a mentor or someone that's really holding their hand and taking them through things. So they feel very lost and they realize that they're not only not making any money, but they don't know what to be doing. And that is a reason for the high failure rate too. So reach out to these brokerages, set up interviews, and ask if they have a mentor, even if that mentor is going to cost you a little extra, like they're gonna maybe take an extra 10 or 20% out of your commission for the first few sales. You may find that it's really worth it because it will help you to succeed faster. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to join your local MLS and your board of realtors, and that will help to, of course, get you MLS access, but also the forms that you'll need for contracts like writing offers and like listing properties. Next, you'll want to order some marketing materials. Now, I know that when you're a new agent, you may not have a very hefty budget, but just minimally, you'll want to have some business cards and typically some signs. So you can have for sale signs that you'll use for your listings, but maybe just order 1 to 3 to start because you're not going to have 20 listings at a time when you're a new agent. And then you also want some open house signs. And if you're on a really tight budget, those can just be the standard, very plain open house signs that you can get from your local board of realtors or even different companies like Amazon. Or if you have a larger budget, you can actually get some custom open house signs that will have the branding that is important because you want that brand recognition and more specifically that name recognition. So you can get them as fancy as you want. Of course, follow the rules about putting your brokerage info, your Department of Real Estate number and all of that on them. But these are the things that I would definitely order to begin with during those first 30 days. Next, you'll want to establish a social media presence. You can potentially use social media accounts that you already have if you'd like to, or if you have maybe a different business or something before and you just feel like it's too different, you want to go ahead and set up new accounts. But you want to choose at least 1 or 2 types of social media or platforms that you want to have a strong presence on. You don't want to spread yourself too thin in the beginning where you're trying to constantly create different content for Facebook and different content for TikTok and different content for YouTube, and they all have different type of people that are on them in different age groups. So pick 1 or 2 and really become an expert at that and start posting on a regular basis on those. And of course, making your presence known, meaning letting the world know that you are now in real estate. Next thing that I would do during my first 30 days as a real estate agent is I'd start scheduling some education time, scheduling some training classes. Now, most brokerages will have training classes, whether they're in person or whether they're held online, but the sad reality is most agents, especially the new ones, do not take advantage of those classes that are offered to them. They simply wait around, or they're asking their mentor, what should I be doing? I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Whereas if they looked at the training schedule, there are often classes on how to use the MLS, how to fill out a contract, even marketing classes, handling objections. So you want to get like at least a few of them on the books, maybe 2 a week if you don't have another job. If you've got some time, maybe a little bit more. Do as much education as you possibly can during those first 30 days, really during that first year as a new agent. Next, you want to start getting familiar with property values and just open house processes, because open houses are going to be a phenomenal way for you to get free leads without having to pay a ton of money for online leads. So you don't know how to host an open house yet, but you'll want to start like just going to them, attending them if they're, in your neighborhood, just dropping by, maybe introducing yourself and just briefly seeing what it's like, what the vibe is like, what that agent has set up and how they're, holding themselves and all of that. If you have a mentor or someone in your local brokerage that you can work with, that you can offer, can you help them set up? Can you attend their open house? Can you just job shadow or observe? That's going to be really beneficial to you. And once you feel comfortable with it, you want to go ahead and actually schedule some open houses. You could host them for other agents if it's your mentor's listings, or there's a different agent in your brokerage that has listings but is too busy to hold them all, and you're going to want to offer, can you hold their listings open so that you're the agent that's there and hopefully getting those leads. And again, one of the keys here during those first 30 days is identifying someone that you can shadow. When I was a brand new agent, this was really what I was looking for. It wasn't as common back then, and I just remember a few people kind of laughing at me because they just did not have the time to take me around, and I can totally understand that. But so if people are laughing in your face or just not giving you the time of day, and you know that you need to follow someone around and really see what a day in the life of a realtor is like, then just keep trying, talk to your broker about it, because again, you want to actually, now that you have passed the test, you know a bunch of useless information that you may or may not ever use about facts and data that was on the test, but you really need to see what the real world of actually selling houses is like. So those key connections like brokers and mentors and trainers within your company, those are going to be really, really essential moving forward.